Well, the British Conservative Party has just elected a new leader, Kemi Badenoch. Now, this comes at a very good time for her because the Labor government has just gone splat in the polls, squandered all its lead in just 4 months, and now the Conservatives are just ahead with this new leader. And she says the most obvious thing about her, being black and a woman, the first black woman to be leader of the Conservatives, is by far the least interesting thing about her. Here she is.
I think that the best thing will be when we get to a point where the colour of your skin is no more remarkable than the colour of your eyes or the colour of your hair.
Joining me is writer, broadcaster, commentator from London, Esther Krakue. Esther, great to see you. Look, my heart goes ping when I see her. I think I could see her as someone who could really challenge the cultural decline in the West. She speaks so well on identity politics. Do you have much hope in her?
Well, it's definitely on the positive side. Look, she has a few things working against her in the sense that she hasn't been in politics for very long. I mean, she only first got elected as an MP in 2017. She doesn't have as much cabinet experience than, say, the Michael Gove, but she's very refreshing. And as you said, her very frank stance on things like identity politics. And also she's a bit of an enigma. No one will ever fight for the disenfranchisement of Black people in the UK more than the left, and yet somehow they really want to put her in an ideological straitjacket, because for being a Black person that doesn't find racism behind every tree is quite a novel thing. And it really irks many on the left. I mean, you've seen Labour MP Dawn Butler calling her the black face of white supremacy, which is strange. I mean, these people cannot fathom that this is someone who has more views or more substance to her than just, the color of her skin or her perceived oppression. But the overarching point is faith in the two main parties, the Labour Party and the Tory Party, has just sunk like a lead balloon, and Reform are really pushing ahead in the polls. So the question is, will she be able to stave off Reform, do a coalition with them, actually inspire some hope and faith back into politics? It's safe to say that people are not going to forget the things that the Labour Party has done in just 4 months. I can't imagine it's going to get better. But if anyone can turn this around, I think Kemi is best poised to do it. And the fact that she really doesn't care. I mean, she's had a few gaffes in the media, but I think people are happier with the fact that she's just willing to be honest and willing to risk not always saying the most politically correct thing than trying to be polished and trying to run away from hate mobs on Twitter at the expense of the country.
Esther, look, as a Black woman yourself, you see her talking this way about identity politics. How do you respond?
Well, it's pretty much, I'm kind of in the same sort of line of thinking. I mean, there is no really permutation of reality where someone who was raised by conservative Nigerian parents in a 2-parent Christian home would turn out to be a blue-haired feminist that finds racism behind every tree. And it's the same for me. I grew up in a 2-parent conservative home from Ghana. We have very similar sort of values in that way. And there's a sizable chunk of the Black community in the UK that actually thinks this way. The problem is the one that is presented in the media would have you think that they're all just, shouting for reparations and about their oppression, and all they care about is, police brutality, which is virtually non-existent in this country. So, she does actually represent a lot of Black people in the country. It's just an inconvenient reality for people that would present a different picture.
That's what I love, Esther. It's the culture jamming here, the scrambling of the narrative. I love it. And I hope she succeeds. I don't know much about her, but I hope she succeeds. Esther Krakue, I'm sorry we've got so little time, American election. More time next week. See you later.